Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions with me, Marianne. Hi Aquarius, I'm going to be doing your December readings. I've almost completed them all. I have the 2 more to do. And oh gosh, I feel really good. I feel like I've been very contemplative. Just before doing your reading, as I say to others, if you're new, welcome to my channel. I'm a psychic intuitive channeler, and I absolutely love sharing messages, reading, tarot. I have different layouts I do. I also incorporate a lot of different medical, physical aspects and divinations like astrology, numerology. I love the runes, I love oracles, and then the guidance that comes through me. And I always talk to every sign just before I do the reading as my meditation. It's a way of me tapping into the energy. And my energy is definitely a little bit lacking, and it's not for anything other than the fact that I know we are right now in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. Well, it just started actually. Hasn't been a week yet. But it is a little bit shorter. It ends on December 15th. And yet, you know, that can change things a little bit, but more importantly than that, Aquarius, is we have Mars that's been in the planet of Leo, very fiery energy, right? We're in Sagittarius season, very fiery energy. And the eclipse, the retrograde is in Sagittarius. So that may, depending on where it falls on your chart, in your personal chart, it could have a lot to do with your energy levels. Now, fire signs like to keep busy. They like to be active, right? And before I get away from the subject, like I do a lot during a retrograde, we have, like I said, Mars that's going retrograde, that's been in Leo, on the 7th of December. And Mars is a very powerful planet that represents fire and energy and, you know, conflict at times. It's the warrior planet. It rules Aries. It rules Sagittarius. I'm going to probably do this a lot. Forgive me. It rules Scorpio. We finished Scorpio season. We're now in Sagittarius. So there's been a lot of fiery energy. And I know you probably felt that. I've seen it. I try to stay away from a lot of that conflict because it doesn't bode well with my constitution or my desire to stay grounded and at peace at all costs in my life, especially as a massage therapist. When I go in and want to help people distress, I'm not really wanting to walk in there and have an agitated kind of energy field going on. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that I like to do to be at peace and keep that that balance. I am a Libra. So that's the other thing I want to say too, is I feel really great for a lot of the changes that have happened for you. Predominantly, of course, Pluto going into your sign. As a fellow air sign, it's lifting off so much of some extra, I would say, challenging years, you know, from the 2008 to it legitimately turning and going, Pluto going into your sign on the 19th of November, just recently, but 20 plus years of it. So, wow, you know, that sense of a trine, which is when you're compatible with another planet or energy or sign. It's just, I can't wait. It doesn't happen all at once. It's got plenty of years to work itself through, but it is about thoughts, and it is about wanting to make things better for the whole. That's what Aquarians are about. They represent the star card in the tarot, and they represent, you know, helping the collective, you know, the whole, the groups. You generally see Aquarians in charge of groups, you know, their management, they have their own entrepreneurial endeavors where they're some kind of, what am I trying to say? When you have a, well, certainly very, nope, that's not coming either. This is interesting. I'm going to go with it though. I'm wanting to say philanthropic. It's a hard word to say. Very many philanthropic endeavors and things that Aquarians like to get their hands on, nonprofits is what I was trying to think of. These are going to be growing exponentially and within yourself to create them, Aquarius. Wow, you're ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is the most rebellious planet, the biggest but powerful when it comes to unexpected things, but also very, very interested in leaving the status quo, breaking the trends, breaking the traditions. And we've seen that happening over and over throughout time during this Capricorn Pluto visit. And it's still happening. And like I said, it'll take some time, but for you, it's technology, it's invention, it's having to do with, so many things we don't even necessarily have a clue about. We can't really visualize, but it's happening. It's happened before. It's not the first time that Pluto's been in Aquarius, but it's been many, many years. And when it was, from what I remember and what I've studied, it was during aspects that had, Aquarius involved when the Great Wide Web came out in the 95, right? When everyone was like, what is this? Sure, that'll be okay. And of course, Bitcoin is definitely part of this whole changing of the guard as far as finances and stuff, but it goes on. And I just have this absolutely optimistic, being in Sagittarius season, regardless of any retrogrades, it's an optimistic time. It feels so good. As an air sign yourself, Aquarius, fire energy works extremely well. The combination, the two, fire and air, is beautiful, and you can build and do so many things, and there's so much thought involved and creativity involved. But I will get back to this. You are dealing with the Mars retrograde right here in Leo, and you are the polar opposition. So you naturally would feel this, and that's what's going to be happening. So please understand if you're feeling that waning or waning, however you want to pronounce that, in your energy, it's because of that. But it's not going to take it away completely. I almost feel like it's a blessing. I really do. I think you're going to like that release, because it's not going to be as frenzied. I mean, holidays can get that way, right? And I think for a lot of Aquarians, let me know, I'm just picking up on the energy and the messages that I feel. And it's telling me that you're kind of at a point where you're like, I surrender. I'm not even going to try to, no, I'm not going to try to force something. I'm not going to try to change something I have no control over. And a lot of times as a fixed sign, you are very, very determined in what you do. And that's great. It has great potential. But right now, it's just accepting it and just kind of going with the flow. There's a lot of healing that's coming up the pipe with this new year and the new cycle of eclipses. North Node going into Pisces first thing in January 2025, just right around the corner. And here we are in December. It finally came, but it also came extremely quickly, right? I didn't even know I said finally, because it felt like I blinked. And here's something I do, and I just want to share it with you, if I may. I've been doing this for about 5 years, and I think I've learned it from someone else, of course, but I started writing a letter to myself on the 31st of every year, Christmas Eve, and I just talk about what my intentions are, what my dreams are about, what I'd like to see accomplished, what I'd like to do away with or rid in my life, and then I read it again the following Christmas Eve. So I look really forward, and I honestly forget sometimes what I wrote as quickly as time goes. You might want to do that. It's really refreshing. It's kind of wonderful to see what your higher power or your soul is saying to you, and see how closely it associates with what you do accomplish or do continue to move forward on. But either way, I'm going to be doing your reading. I promise. I just have one thing that I love to do. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for taking the time. It means a great deal to me. I have said for the month of December, as my new, brand, wearing gloves, they represent the colors and the energies that colors bring about. They are associated with the chakras, which is the first thing that I do. I do a chakra check for every single sign. Chakras being on the energy centers that start from our base chakra to our sacral chakra to our solar plexus to our heart, throat, third eye, crown, and one more which associates and brings us all together, basically. We are one. We are all connected. It's that one beautiful consciousness. So I basically put this under here because there aren't many cards, but Spirit wants you to know specifically about this one particular chakra and to focus on it for reasons maybe because it's not feeling as strong, or you feel a little blockage there, or because it's going to be something that's predominant in your reading. That's come about quite a bit during the readings this month. So for you, beautiful Aquarians, your solar plexus today is the exact same as it was yesterday for Capricorn. And it's right next to you, so I can understand you kind of feeding off that. But bottom line about this, and it was phenomenal. You might want to check Capricorn's reading. And in fact, I always suggest you read your sun, or not read, but you watch your sun, moon, rising/ascendant, Venus, and Mercury. Mercury is about a communication, and it's also in retrograde. So it's all the more reason to see where you might be caught up, or in regards to relationships and people in your life, if it's going to be smoother or not. It's all relative, and it says so much about us other than just our sun sign. So the solar plexus, of course, is the third chakra up. It's right around here, just above the belly button. This represents our strength, our power, our self-acceptance. It's all about the power of Pluto for sure. That's definitely always the planet that'll, keep us guessing and have us second guessing at times. But in Aquarius, it's wanting to better the world. So working more in tandem with others is going to be very significant for the years coming up. Thank you very much, Aquarius. And so I'll read you what it says specifically as well. It says, the third chakra, my body and personality are in harmony. So essential to have all of the chakras in harmony to be the best people we can be and to feel whole in all areas, the body, mind, and spirit. I am strong, confident, and centered. I know who I am and the purpose for which I am here. Isn't that great to feel that strength and to have that conviction? And this could be a mantra that you could say anytime you were feeling less than this, to bring back that empowerment there. So the next thing then, of course, in correlation with the chakra is the crystal. Crystals are phenomenal. Crystals can bring so much protection and energy in all different aspects, each one having a special meaning and effect on your body and soul and the universe at large. And it comes from the earth. It's the most phenomenal, beautiful part of life as well. I have one in here from yesterday, which was the tiger eye, representing the third chakra. So I'm going to keep it in there. That's right. What am I doing? Secondary one, but boy, I hope it's even a third of as powerful a reading, because it was just unbelievable. And that's what I'm finding from the December readings anyway. Feeling that sense of releasing things that, it's all done. It's been done, and now it's about setting forth your special intentions of how you want to see your life formulate this point on. Those transformations are going to be real. I've seen so many in my lifetime as a person in her late 60s now. I'm at the end of my, I'm on the last quadrant, if you will. And it's just, you could never have told me that the changes that have occurred have, and so many have been so amazing, and some I would rather not have had, but here I am. And I'm still happy, and I'm still believing in the best possible outcomes. So I hope you'll join me in that as well, and realize it's really so much of what we think and we put out there that absolutely will affect us in our lives. The solar plexus chakra, which is the tiger eye stone, is about confidence, power, and purpose. Once again, I radiate happiness and positive energy. And it's going to be that energy, because you're going to truly, as a fixed sign, you're going to make things happen for you and others, and you're only going to feel good about it. So fantastic for that. Now, the reading I'm going to do is going to be the Celtic Cross layout, because I do change that up. And I am using my beautiful first deck that I ever got, which is the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It was given to me when I was 32, which is 35 years ago now. And so needless to say, it has so much energy and so much love. It's seen many readings. I haven't used it on YouTube ever. And, you know, I've been, 4 years or so. I had to stop for a couple. Back at it, not stopping ever, as long as I'm able to talk. And I have support from everybody. And you're liking what you're hearing. It's just onward and upward. It is my passion and my purpose. So thank you for being a part of that. It means a great deal. Do like, subscribe, and share if you feel so inclined to do so. So we're going to start. I've already actually pre-shuffled, and I have blessed the deck so that I can give the most clear and concise messages for the highest good of everybody involved. And so here we go. The very first card will be your overall energy, Aquarius. Once again, we are doing this for the month of December 2024. We have a new moon tomorrow. It is in the sign of Sagittarius. That's extremely potent, extremely powerful for you. And it's all about writing your intentions out. You know, this can last for 2 weeks and onward. And it's optimistic, beautiful, complementary energy for you, Aquarius. So your overall energy card is I also think I digressed. I feel like there's 2 here. Forgive me. I'm sure there is. I'm feeling that, but it's just being a little... Oh, there we go. Oh, what? Oh, yellow right off the bat. I did literally get this huge chicken skin kind of, you know, chills up my right leg. 10 of Pentacles. That's the ultimate. That's everything. That's family. That's health. That's prosperity. That's it's love. It's everything. It's the best. It's wealth, but what you consider to be wealth. 10 is a new cycle. So it doesn't matter what you've had or what's been going down. It's on now, and especially with the new moon and so many beautiful things working in your sign as the years progress. And you're the only person that's gotten this as the overall energy, but it makes so much sense, and I'm super, super happy to see that. You know, you've worked a lot, you've never stopped, you've never given up, you help, you have a huge heart, you want to be fair, you want to be just, you're very intelligent, you love to keep learning, you want to share your information with others. And, you know, your card representing you, the star that I mentioned earlier, it is a woman, and it doesn't have to be woman, but it's a feminine, which as a air sign, it tends to be masculine. So it wanted to mention that it can be both, right? We all have both. So keeping that balance, but it's water being, you know, poured from one receptacle to another. Well, the water is actually information and, you know, ability to spread information to others and help them to learn and grow and share your knowledge. You know, it looks like water. A lot of times people had thought that, you know, Aquarius is a water sign, you're an air sign, but you want to share the wealth in that way. So that's particularly conducive for this. And I absolutely love this. There's animals. I know you love animals. There's never been an Aquarius I've ever met that almost doesn't prefer animals over people. I'm going to be honest about that. But that's beautiful too, because animals have such an important place in this planet. So yeah, that's your overall energy. Then we have the one crossing, which is going to be your possible blessings or blocks. And you have the 2 of Swords. Well, that's your energy. You are the air element, and this is the swords represent the air element. So basically, a couple of things. It is a 2. It does have to do with possibly 2 opportunities. It could be a partnership, and you're questioning it, you know, wondering, should I stay, should I go? I mean, this is, it used to concern me because as a Libra, I thought I'm an air sign and like, wow, okay, what do I do? Because I can, you know, people say we have a very hard time making decisions. It's not that, but it is that we do look at all the different possibilities. So once we do come to that conclusion, it's pretty straightforward, but it can take a while just for us to really think things through. You know, like I said, we are definitely thinkers. Yeah, but there's no wrong choice with this. you see the blindfold. That's so that we can sit with it. The blue in the background represents the third eye and crown region of our chakras, where we have that intuitive ability. And it's going to be extremely powerful for everybody, but I think you're really going to notice it as well when we have these eclipses in Pisces and Virgo. And that's about deep, deep, powerful spirituality. Even if you're saying to me, Mary, I'm not the least bit spiritual. I'm watching this because I was interested. I was just I don't think so. I think a lot of people are very much interested in spirituality and their quest to have answers that they still are yearning for, and they will come. And it'll be easier for that to happen. And so with Pisces in the North Node starting in January, like I said, and then the healing aspect of Virgo in the South Node, and letting go and healing your life because you're releasing things that have tied you down and been nothing but more difficult than good. This is a great time for really realizing that. It'll be 18 months of that. So don't feel rushed, and know that you are going to make the right choice because your higher power will never let you down, providing you're listening and allowing that guidance to come through, okay? So then we have the card that represents your foundation, and it speaks for itself. It's what's happening right now. Are you feeling solidly secure? Is your base chakra, your root chakra, you feeling grounded? Are you able to relax and let go? And as I mentioned earlier, just kind of surrender the need to constantly know or constantly have answers. It's really important. And is the structure of your family, your relationships, your whatever, is it feeling like it's solid, or is there something that needs to be handled? Because it will be taken care of, whether you do it or not. The universe has a great way of doing it. It usually represents the Tower. But you have the Page of Cups. So yes, I feel like the cups represent our emotions. Yes, air signs tend to be known as being detached and we're in our heads, and it's true. We can handle our emotions at the appropriate time, kind of thing, right? We compartmentalize. But this is knowing that you are very, very emotional, very sensitive. All water signs are incredibly sensitive and intuitive and capable of feeling the situation because they listen to the signs, whether it be through, the power of the planets and the moon and the cycles of the moon that are very much affecting all of us, and the gravitational pull that happens with that. Or is it because you're being shown through, a new idea? The pages represent newness, they're youth. It's like the beginning, or it's a youthful approach to something, or it's a child. I mean, are you talking about children? Are you anticipating having another child? Or as a grandparent, is that something that you're looking forward to or heard about happening? A whole new chapter, right? This is a gift, and you can imagine it because the imagination is very, very profound in Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpios. And there's that gift of just prophecy and knowing, the clairvoyance, and all the clairs are very, very fine-tuned in water signs. We all have water in our chart somewhere. We all have that capacity, but the more you have in water, the more that's going to be more, you're going to notice it and be more aware of it through time, which is wonderful. And you're not only going to just imagine, you're going to actually put it into good use. It's going to be something that you utilize in a daily way. But I love that for you. So this is about opening your heart to new possibilities, to always staying true to your inner child, having fun, and accepting the gifts that are brought to you. Not overlooking them or just imagining them, but really allowing them and being extremely grateful, of course, because that's hugely a part of it. Now there's a little yellow right there too, okay? So you're getting it. You're like, okay, it's beginning, but I'm getting the feel of this. And it's the beginning of the Pluto Aquarius. So something very, very important can happen to you during this transformation of these years, as I mentioned. Life-changing, right? Always for the better, though. I'm not here to put any fear in anybody that's watching. That's not my style. You can look at things in two different ways, and I tend to be the one that's going to be the optimist because it's always worked for me. And by the way, I didn't mention, but I started to say during the month of December, I knew that it was going to be either the power, fiery energy with the red glove, which represents red and so forth, and the root chakra and our desire to really take hold and be strong and grounded, and then the green, which is representative of our heart and our emotions. So I thought for you, it needs to be both. This has only happened a couple times where I've had to do two-tone gloves, but it was very apparent to me. So that's the reason for it. Plus it's festive looking, which I love. You know, you can't go wrong there. Colors are beautiful, and brilliance is important. So then we have your recent past, and you have the world. Wow. You've already started these transformations. It was happening even last year when we had, and earlier this year when we had Aquarius going to Pluto for quite some time. And then it went back into Capricorn for 3 months and finally stopped and ended on the 19th, as I mentioned. So you got plans, you got travel plans, you're thinking big, you're thinking large, you're thinking global. Like I said, this isn't about partnership per se, it's about the world at large, okay? And maybe you'll be involved in some way with export, import, you know, YouTube, you can reach the world and it's so wonderful. One day I want to do the lives so that I can just continue to communicate and spread the word and be hopefully some uplifting influence that will make people feel and recognize their worth and just how wonderful and capable we all are individually and as a whole. So that is fantastic. That is exciting. It's definitely change. It's transformation from one way of your life to another, like a completely different. Maybe you'll move to another country. I mean, I actually thought about that. It was the weirdest thing. I mean, I can't go into detail right now, but I watched it. I watched on, you know, people retiring in other countries. It was interesting. I'll put it that much. Then for your possible future, you have the Seven of Cups. So there's the cups again. So they're kind of, you know, holding each other up with the page, but the seven is many, many options. You know, spoiled for choice, as they say. And look at all the yellow. I mean, all you have to get, oh, that would be good. And yeah, oh, that would make that happen. And if I did that, and sometimes too much. I always suggest, and from experience and just from what I learn and study, is that less is more. 2 is really the best because you can really balance it in a lot of ways, you know. I mean, much more than that, you lose the energy and you want to focus. You know, Neptune has been pretty much in the picture for a long time, being in Pisces, which is very much about our imagination and creativity, and it's going to change fully by 2026 into Aries for another 14 years. So whole different change of energy there too. In fact, there's a lot of that going on this coming year. We get a little toe in the energy, and then it comes back, and then it changes for good in 2026. And Aries compared to Pisces is night and day, but there's a lot of strength and a lot of leadership abilities. There's you taking the reins, which is something you do anyway, Aquarius, so it's nothing new to you. But being particular and being very discerning about your choices or what's coming through with this. So then we move on to your immediate future, and you have the Seven of Pentacles. Well, the 7 is good. It really is, you know. I mean, the man looks a little sad and forlorn. It's only because he's really contemplating now. We're at the end of the year. A lot of people do this. Do I keep the job I'm not crazy about? Do I, you know, move forward? It's a change. Will I like it? Will I be accepted? Will I find one? I think they're common thoughts for everybody in this planet that's worked and wanted to, you know, excel or maybe start their own business. It's wonderful to think those things, but you're not going to just flippantly make a choice. You're going to really contemplate, and 7 isn't bad. So it's not like you feel forced. You're doing well. You know, the coins and the pentacles represent the earth energy. We are actually going into Capricorn season on the 21st, which initiates, the coming of I'm wanting to say December solstice, which is winter solstice, which means, speaking of light and brilliance and sun and all that wonderful color, every day after the 21st, it gets a little lighter and a little lighter. It's one of my favorite things. So anyway, but that's just, I'm wondering, are you fully content? And if not, please make sure that you have enough understanding about yourself and your confidence that you know you can be and do pretty much anything. You just have to want it enough, and you have to be strong, and you have to be willing to put in the steps that it takes. That's what this shows too. It's not going to just happen. You will have great energy to help you, but you have to do the steps. You have to, and that's what the Mercury retrogrades are about. They're about really contemplating, reminiscing about things, double checking, reviewing, releasing, letting go, for the new to start and the energy to, build itself back up again. When then the mercurial aspect of, being communicative and going out and networking and all that starts to flow. And then bam, you have all these offers, all this opportunity. That really ties in well with that. So it's really going to be up to you, but not to feel rushed. Certainly not now. This is a festive time for those that celebrate. And it's time to have fun and go to parties and enjoy yourself and just take the deep breaths and say, I'm letting go of the worries. It's out of my hands. Okay? And then we have the stem of the Celtic cross. So the first one is going to be kind of your perspective in life in general right now and how you're seeing things as a whole. This is your overall energy in the center of the 10 of Pentacles. This is kind of your peripheral vision, the way you're seeing things from a different perspective, if you will. And you have the 8 of Pentacles. So this is the Master card. This is what I said. You start with the 7, it goes to the 8. You will have to work for what you're wanting, but trust me when I tell you that you will do extremely well. It's a long-term thing. Once again, the Pentacles are for long-term. They're legacy. They're putting one foot in front of the other, knowing that in time, like with retirement plans or anything like that, you sock it away, out of sight, out of mind. It is building. It's still, the seeds were planted, right? But the 8 is magic. It's abundance. You will succeed, and you'll probably do better than you even imagined. Should you start something new or, whatever it may be. Even with what you're doing, it could have a second wind, if you will. So I love that a lot for you. And that's kind of how you're feeling. You're thinking, well, I'm not stopping anytime soon. That wasn't part of my agenda, and that's what it's saying very clearly. You've got opportunities. You're going to rethink maybe, or really think hard about, whether you want to take on a second job or how it's going to affect what's happening, your family, and all the variables with the tangible earth energy. Things you can see, feel, touch, and so forth. The next is your environment card. So let's see what it has to show you there. Oh, fantastic. Knight of Wands. Leo energy, Sagittarius energy, Aries energy. What we've already said is very prevalent right now. Fire, fire, fire. Definitely confidence, strength, motivation. Even if it's been held back a little bit, it's not gone and it's not going anywhere. And once it comes back, it's all no holds barred. It goes back into Cancer for what? From the latter part of February through April, when the shadow period actually finishes. It's a lot, and it's a longer stay than normal. It happens every couple of years in different signs and so forth, but it's motivating. I'll tell you that much, so when the time comes that it slows itself down, take full advantage of that. All right. It's a blessing. It's not like you're missing out. It's just helping you build up those reserves of energy. And I love just the spirit of the wands, because they want to see things. They're all about action and movement. And, this is Sagittarius, right? Half man, half horse, just like, bam, I'm going to point that arrow and I'm make it happen. And it's, once again, so beautiful for your energy, Aquarius. So the next one is the hopes and fears category. And once again, they're stuck together, it feels like. So let's see if I can do this for you. There we go. Well, I love this a lot. This is important. This has a star like the star card that you represent in that lantern. Okay, it's hard to see sometimes, but that's what I love about the Rider-Waite-Smith, my very first deck. It just really breaks things down, and you can look at the cards and find new things all the time. And it's really inspirational, but this is about you recognizing your inner knowing, taking the time to retreat away from your public life. It took me a while to get to that point as a public person. Boy, it's hard to go back as much as I did now. I love my job. I love being out, and that's about it. I don't do much else other than readings and one or two sociable things, other than with my family, of course, because they're like everything. But they're busy, so I don't see them often either. You can really learn so much when you allow yourself to be still and meditate, if that's walking or, listening to great music. You're not letting go of your dreams. You never will. You have an idea, you have an invention, you have an inspiration, and it's going to be, you're going to follow through with it. And this is guidance to let you know that and to just reassure you of that. And the last card is the outcome card, Aquarius. And you have the Five of Swords. Now, listen, I just want to say in the Libra reading, I'm pretty sure this came up at the beginning. And it is an air sign like you are. So this is the time. I'm going to do actually a clarification, which I did for the last one, and I'm not remembering who had it. But it was important. It was a good clarification. This is the stuff you are no longer interested in. And this is the petty arguments, the gossipy, the water cooler, as they say. It's conversations that were conflicting. Could be within yourself, though. It doesn't even have to be with you. You're just around it, and you're like, I don't want to be a part of this. I really, really don't. I'm raising my consciousness. I'm raising my power to create, and, what we focus upon is what happens. And that's not how you say that. There's another way to say that, but you get the idea. Where your energy goes, attention flows, right? So that's really how you say that. And it's true. And these two in the background, they're basically out of your life. Maybe you've eliminated people that were getting on your last nerve, or family members that, just never was really, really great. And you're accepting that. It's not a bad thing. You're not mad. They're not mad. It was in the making. It just has always kind of been that way. And just, that's part of the change too that's coming through, and accepting that. We have all sorts of family, right? The ones we make, the ones we grew up with. It's all changing, and that's okay. You're prepared should you need to have a debate, for sure, because you're good at that. You can definitely talk with the best of them, but you're not really interested. And so I'm going to clarify, like I said, that for you and see what you have to... and the King of Wands. Okay, so we go from the Knight to the King. The King is the most mature. The King is all about giving and completely feeling confident of their abilities, sitting pretty comfortable, right? You got the wand right there. You know your direction. It's not been deterred. Bright yellow, garment of some sort, and a wall behind showing the courage and the strength it took to get to this, because none of life has to be, it's not always easy. We know this. It'd be silly to say otherwise. But you've met your challenges one by one. There'll be more in the future. They won't have as much impact. They don't. They really don't. You're like, I know how to deal with this. I've done this before. I think it's called being wiser. I'm not sure. Or just maybe just more tolerant, or just wanting more peace. It's not worth the fight, picking your battles. It's just, you're above that, It's not something you're going to let deter you. So that's the reality of the Five of Swords. And 5 has changed too. So it's a change in that attitude, in being around that and everything I mentioned. Overall, this is a pretty beautiful reading. It shows that you have incredible potential with the 10. You're actually really doing well. And when you realize that, it only brings it to you more. Your gratitude is everything. There's love in your life. There's ideas of travel now. Maybe you're at that phase in your life, or you're younger. Most of my kids have gone everywhere. I live vicariously through them. And they're way younger than me. But I just love that you're opening that up. It's time. Why not? If it's something you want. It doesn't have to be. A lot of people don't want to travel at all. Doesn't have to be physically. It could be just learning more things and opening up to, new classes and new ways of finding about this incredible new technology that's going to be coming up for all of us. AI is certainly known to a lot of people, but in what ways, we don't really know yet, but we will certainly find out. And I think it's going to be phenomenal in most ways. That's how I choose to look at it. But let me finish with your angel card, okay? And this is the last message for the reading of December. And I want to thank you again for your time. It is always precious. And I appreciate you stopping in. I would love to have you be a regular part of my tribe. It's a safe place, and I want to hear anything you want to comment on, as long as it's nice. Because that's really the only kind of energy I want, like-minded people that understand and are really interested in just bettering themselves in the world, right? And just opening up to the many beautiful, beautiful aspects of life, including getting up in the morning and just taking that breath, right? So for your final message, Aquarius, you have self-acceptance. That is so, so beautiful with the solar plexus, because it's about our strength and our courage and our willingness to accept how incredibly strong we really are, and how worthy we are. So just reminding you that during the times that you feel less than that, which everybody does. So don't be hard on yourself for that, but just know with your self-confidence, your belief, everybody believes it, right? So this is beautiful. The reading is beautiful, and there's a lot that can happen for you. And I hope that you'll share that with me. And I hope you'll have an amazing, beautiful holiday if you do celebrate the holidays. It's been a great pleasure this year. Getting back to this channel has been so, so fulfilling for me. And I hope to see you in January. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.